I'm going to breeze through this because this is stuff I think most of us know as science majors, basic stuff. There now the three main causes of climate change includes greenhouse effect, sun's energy, and reflectivity. Next up is human causes. Obviously, the greenhouse effect has a lot of stuff like carbon dioxide, methane gas, nitrous oxides, and a lot of fluorinated gases. Global greenhouse by sources include the largest ones are energy sector and transportation. And just to give you this little idea right here, this is does anyone know what some Carlos is? It's a 1927 Ford Model T, and that's my beautiful dog, and also Dr. Glasgow, aka my dad. And anyways, this car is just a really good example of a very inefficient car. Very inefficient. All right. Next up, just by country, the two largest countries that emit CO2 include China and the United States. As you can see, CO2 trends have continuously grown exponentially. The impacts of climate change, as a lot of you already know, there's higher temperatures, landscape changes, habitat at risk. Obviously, you guys probably know about like outdooring, nature, and with penguin and polar bear, all that nature. This is what I like, the economic impact of global climate change. A really big impact, obviously, you have actually a lot of areas, some benefit, others do not benefit. However, overall, by the IPCC, they find that over time there's a huge economic loss. Now, the second part of my introduction is with Fibonacci. I'm going to title this in a little bit later, but we're going to do a little bit of Fibonacci now. Fibonacci pretty much, let me just go right here. Fibonacci is the idea that pretty much you go from 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5, and you can just continue going. It's really cool. I love Fibonacci. And then Fibonacci, you can just see it from everywhere. This is from the golden spiral. I'll explain a little bit more about it later. You can just see nature from hurricane everywhere, especially sunflowers. Fibonacci is representative. Fibonacci is cool, people. All right? Fibonacci is cool. All right. Anyways, you can also find Fibonacci in trees. I took this picture from a park several years ago because I've always been interested in Fibonacci. Just go from like one tree is 1, then there's 2 branches, then there's 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5. Now, why are Fibonacci ratios important? Well, Fibonacci ratios are important because they converge to the golden ratio, and that's where the golden spiral came into effect as well. And the golden ratio is equal to 1.618. And the reason why the golden ratio is important is because it allows us to actually develop cycles for prediction. So pretty much the golden ratio through matrices, you can actually tell from the down eigenvalue. You guys can see from the daughter and parent relationship, we can just keep on cycling back and forth. So it's really good for prediction analysis. As a result, just to give you guys a little background information for this. I'm really crazy about the stock market, and I'm going to graduate school for finance from modeling. It's kind of weird. But I love Fibonacci. I love using Fibonacci in the stock market. I've done that for years. I actually did a presentation 2 years ago when I was a sophomore on Fibonacci, just for relationship with the stock market. And anyways, I also have a lot of interest in like energy economy and stuff, so I wanted to combine those two. So I came up with my hypothesis. The increase and decrease of CO2 emissions compared to the performance of global financial markets can be correlated with the use of Fibonacci recursive economic model. It often suggests that the strength can be potentially altered through the use of resilience with absorption, adaptation, and transformation. Now with our methods. Methods is pretty simple. I mean, I go from first, we examine CO2 emission levels from the past or from a compounded model. Now this is really cool. Does anyone know what this equation is? Or it's not cool? Come on. Yeah. Well, it's actually compound interest. And I'm actually taking a math 450 class of, it's like a higher math course for financial mathematics right now. And I just like 2 months ago, we came across this equation, I'm learning it, and do all this stuff for it. And then I was thinking, well, how about let's get rid of the annual rate of return and replace it with projected CO2 emission percentage gain. And that's what we use for, that's what we're using for our growth model. Part 2, next we demonstrate how the increase and decrease in CO2 emission levels since 1969 relate to the performance of global financial markets. We did this by using this slope-intercept equation later. And I'm going to explain all this better when I go into the data. Part 3, we then use the stock market Fibonacci retracement indicator, where Fibonacci ratios are manipulated about reciprocals with a certain power and importance to the sequence to predict future trends. And the key numbers, once you guys remember, is right up there is 0.5. 0.5 actually has nothing to do with Fibonacci, but we need like a base right in the middle. And then we have obviously 0 and 100, which have 0 and 1. And then the Fibonacci ratio, these Fibonacci inverse ratios are equal to 0.618 and 0.382. So our key levels when we look at Fibonacci for prediction is 0.382, 0.5, and 0.601. That's pretty much 38.2%, 50%, 61.8%. And I'm going to explain that. So here's a really good example. So pretty much in the stock market at least, we actually look at, you have obviously the 38.2%. That's actually, well actually when you go downtrend, actually downtrend is like this, uptrend like this. So you just look at this and you just calculate the trend values and you go. And I'm going to explain this a little bit better in the next one. Part 4, we illustrate the potential impact of programs, technical advances, and policy change our ultimate goal is actually change from the relationship. Next is data. To start off now, this is where it's really exciting. Data, just for starting off, just want to see, are we on something? Just plot the data from the CDIC, this is the Carbon Dioxide and Great Power Center, and their global predictions of CO2 emissions. And we got from 1969 and also global financial markets from 1969. And you just see just by general majority, it doesn't really mean anything, but we just know that there might be a relationship. Next up, we correlate the data through the use of linear polynomial regression. And we got a stronger correlation, obviously, with polynomial because there is more of an exponential rate of growth. Next up, we used our classic quarter bond, CO2 compounded prediction model, and we calculated how much CO2 can grow in the future. Based upon the current the rate that we grew exponentially on average for the past 30 years, from 1969 to 2009, we grew at a rate around 2.2%. So we just used that 2.2% to predict for the future by plugging into our equation. And we came up with total that by 2060, we're going to remember total emitted is going to be 27,346 million metric tons of carbon. So almost a triple, and that's pretty simple. So accordingly, we decided to use this polynomial regression in the formation of a linear relationship between the two variables. And by doing this, pretty much used the exponential relationship between year emissions and the exponential relationship between year financial markets. And we love this linear. This linear equation is where our slope-intercept equation came into play. And I'm going to breeze through this because I think a lot of you are biology and natural science people. I don't really care about math too much. So. But pretty much we set the two slope-intercept equations equal to each other, and we got this nice equation. And this is where it's really exciting. This is the blue line is the MSCI World Market Index. The red line is CO2. And the green line is what, through our relationship with mathematics, we predicted. So you can see there's a really strong correlationship. Now, however, in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was a little bit anomaly because obviously it was predicted it was going up, and CO2 actually stayed flat, but actually a little bit down a little bit. And after doing some research, I actually found out that there's probably the biggest reason for that is probably because of the dot-com bubble. It wasn't actually like a huge economic boom. It was more just like a secular boom. It might make a difference. Anyways, you see with the crisis, financial crisis of 2008, you saw that market went down, the predicted would go down, and you see CO2 up there in the red, it's slowed down a little bit. And then as the economy came back up, obviously it came back up. And it's because of that, because obviously like when the economy goes up, people have more money and people will spend more. That's the whole overall. Now we get to my favorite part, which is Fibonacci. So here's the idea, then I'm going to explain it now. Here's the key numbers, 38.2%, 50%, and 61.8%. Pretty much we just throw these lines on here, and you just kind of look and just see, this is just the global financial market, so it's really easy to do this. You can see it hit here, it broke through the line. So right here is, this is like your ceiling, and right here is your like ceiling resistance, here's support or floor. So this is like a trading range, each one of these. So if you come down here where it broke this line, it would have gotten to this next range. So instead it broke down this line, came down here, hit resistance and hit the support, came back up, broke, came back down, broke at this time. It's a good way if you're trading financial markets, it's a good way to protect yourself and also make a lot of money. Then here's just like a short term, just again, concept. Now if you go to CO2, you can see it's just kind of been, it's more exponential, so we've never really seen this trend come come back down. We never see a downward trend in feminazi. It's just been up, up, up. It never stops. And that's one thing that we won't change. There's another one, the short term. So with the impacts of covariance is new technology such as like Tesla motor cars will be more efficient, all that type of nature. We predicted that the opposite right here is that the continued rates continue to go on at 2.2%. So green is CO2, blue is markets. CO2 we don't like that. It's going up too much. We want to break the trend. Scenario 2 is 0.5% growth in CO2 over 50 years. Again, it's a lot better. It's a lot better, but it's still not that good. The most ideal solution, and the one I think we actually could do, is negative 0.5%. And as you can see with this next graph, negative 0.5% we can actually break the trend for the first time since 1751. And if we can actually break this trend, the whole goal is to keep on breaking it down. And if not, we can actually. So conclusion, pretty much, we need a change. And the way we can do that is through people, process, product. We have to have great people, we have to have great product, and we have to have great process. And any successful organization have that. However, to have a great people, process, product, you have to also have the ability to absorb, adapt, and transform. And I think through new covariance, new public policy, new change, everything has to have that. And with new advances with technology, I think we have the potential to actually alter this trend. We want an inverse relationship. We don't want CO2 in the stock market to continue going up at the same rate. We want the stock market to go up while CO2 can slowly go down. And that is our goal. Thank you. A lot of energy. So, and I would also like to thank Malone University. My tennis team wanted me to throw them in there, so they're in there. And my beautiful dog, Queen Isabella, wants questions. Any questions?
How do we break the trend?
Great. I think the Tesla model, Tesla motors are going to be coming out of new cars in 2015, and it's going to be more affordable in the $20,000 to $35 range. I think as more technology goes on, also with efficiency. Efficiency is huge. As we were talking earlier, with solar panels, it's really huge. It means to be more efficient. And also new technology, new public policy, new changes. I strongly believe we can get on this new trend. At least it's have a goal. We want to break the trend. And obviously, I'm going to say right now, in the stock market, feminazi is everyone nation, but in the stock market, it's like king. And everything follows it. And I'm just a really big believer in it, and I just want to see the trend rate of the CO2.
Is the driver the economy, or is the driver the increase in carbon dioxide?
The driver is actually, the economy is actually what's increasing carbon dioxide, in my opinion. Because obviously, when you have more money as a global economy, as developing countries develop more, they use more money, they go on vacations, spend more money. So the whole goal of it would actually to have more technology, more also public policy that kind of like resist like the use of energy, but also maintain economic growth. That's the ideal situation. It's going to be hard, but I think if you get together right here with the people, process, product, and the idea of resilience, absorption, adaptation, and transformation, I think we can do it. Any more questions?
All right, thank you, Scott.